Hi everyone, welcome to TheraPilates virtual classes. I'm so excited you're here to get started building your bone density, your muscle strength, improving your function, and preventing fractures. So what you'll need to get started is a 48-inch dowel or a broomstick. If you have hardwood floors, tile floors, or non-carpeted floors, you'll need stoppers on the end. So you might have to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get a 48-inch dowel that's 1 inch in diameter. And then you'll go over to the section where they have furniture pads and felt that goes underneath chairs that helps furniture slide. And they have some cane tips, rubber tips that you can put onto the ends of the dowel that help you prevent it from slipping or scratching your floors. Okay, so most important tool, we'll be using it for alignment of the spine, doing your hip hinge, being able to touch the floor, and then we'll be also using it for balance exercises. And it's going to be a very important tool for you to always have for your classes. Next, I want you to get a box from Staples or Office Max or Target. They have these really nice file boxes. This one is by Advantis, and it's an extra large woven file box, and it's about 12 inches by 12 inches. It is a cube shape, and it's really important that it's not wider than 12 inches, because if your box is either shallow or very wide, you have to widen your stance too much to try to lift something up. And it's not going to be great for your hips and legs. So you want to be able to get something that's about 12 inches wide, that's the perfect width and height to be able to hold things in as you are doing your weightlifting, because you're going to use this as your weightlifting device for the first part of your exercise routine. You'll then need some things at home that you have in your kitchen. You'll need your soup cans, water bottles, super easy things to find in your kitchen. You can use bags of flour or sugar. Just make sure they're encased in plastic, so in case they break, they don't spill everywhere. You would hate to have that mess. All right, and then once your box is full of the weights that you know how much you can track them. You have to know how much the object weighs so that you can track it and track your progress, and you can go up gradually. So right now I only have 4 pounds in here, and then I can use either dumbbells, I can use my other items in my kitchen and keep adding until I get up to about 40 pounds. Once you get up to about 40 pounds, that's when you need to stop using the box and transition to a more safe object like a barbell, or you can use kettlebells, things like that, if you already have that at home. So lifting with the handles is a really nice way to get started. And then eventually you'll be lifting from the floor. And it's just a really nice way to start doing some strength training with something you already have at home usually. Okay, so those are the two most important items. Next most important is going to be Therabands. So we use Therabands for resistance, and we use them for the upper body, but we also use them for resistance for the lower body during heel raises and lunges. So these are green and blue Theraband brand. I don't care what brand you use, but I just know this brand really well, and I know how the colors work for the resistance that they provide. So yellow and red would be a little bit too light. I recommend green for people who are less strong, maybe new to exercise, haven't been doing any exercise at all, and that would be a good brand or tension to start with. These come in 6-yard boxes, and you can order them online in a 6-yard box, and then you cut it in half, and it makes a really long Theraband for you to use, because you'll need 2 long Therabands. These are different colors, obviously, but you'll want 2 long ones. And then I put slip knots at the end so that they can go over the dowel, and we can do overhead presses with them. If you're more advanced or an experienced exerciser, I suggest you go with blue bands. That's usually pretty good to get started. You can go up to the black or the silver if you're very strong. So blue band if you're more advanced, green band if you're more of a beginner. Okay, then another type of device that I like to use in our more of our beginner classes, and sometimes in the more advanced classes, is to use this little loop that goes around your ankles, your thighs, or your calves. and it provides resistance to the hips. So these are called Versa loops from the Power Systems company, or you can order these on Amazon in a little set. This is called Fit Simply, and I ordered it just to see what it was like, and it has a really nice set of 5 bands, all varying resistance and different color coding, and it was only $7.99, so really good price. So you can do something like that if you want to use those. And then we also use tennis balls or pinky balls to work the feet in some of our classes. And tennis balls really easy to get. Just go to the local tennis club, ask for used balls. You know, they love to give away their dead balls. And so I usually get buckets of them from the tennis coach. And if you don't want to spend any money, because buying new tennis balls is kind of expensive, so get the used ones because you don't need them to be fresh. And then there's also an option of going to the dollar store and getting these high bounce pinky balls. So they're very bouncy and kids love them. Dogs also love them too. So you got to keep them away from the dog because they'll chew them up. But anyway, so either one of those works great. And then another item you probably have at home is a dog leash. So this one is a dog leash. This is a yoga strap. Doesn't matter what you're using. I just need you to have a 6 foot or longer strap so that you can do some exercises with the strap underneath your back that monitors your abdominal work and your back position. And then we also put it around the foot to do some nerve glides and some hamstring stretches and things like that. So that's an easy one to find at home. You can also use a really long scarf, and works great. The next prop I want to talk about is the ball or the towel roll. There are 2 different balls that I recommend that you get started with. If you're very sensitive or tender in your upper back and you feel concerned about doing the back extension over the ball, then you start with a very soft ball like this one. You can see how squishy this is compared to this one. I can barely squish it with my fingers. And it blows up with a straw. So I'm going to take this out, and you'll see that there's a little straw that it comes with that you can blow it up. And you put it to the tension that you feel like you can tolerate, placing the ball underneath your back. So a lot of people are, anxious to get started with their program, and you can certainly start without either of these balls. This one is called a Gertie ball, and I ordered it from Amazon. It's usually called either a yoga ball or Pilates ball or a fit ball. It's not the physio ball, the big kind. So this is only about, 8 to 9 inches. And it should only cost about $7 or $8. So don't spend more than $7 or $8 on one of these. But what you'll need eventually is a harder ball. This one is by Yamana Body Rolling USA, and it is the silver ball, and it is 9 inches in diameter, and you'll need a pump with it. You can either order the one that comes with it, which I think is really expensive, but or you can get one from any sporting goods store. It's a basketball needle pump that you insert, and then you blow it up. And you can also take air out of it if it feels like it's too intense. So let me just show you how this works. So I'm going to sit here. You're going to place the ball behind your mid back, lean back onto it, place your hands behind your head, and then arch back. And then exhale coming up. Inhale to arch back, and exhale up. So because this ball is very firm, it might not be well tolerated. It might be a little too much for you. So you could either use this really soft ball, because it's very squishy, or you can take 2 towels, just bath-sized towels, fold them in half like this, and then fold them in half again, and then stack them up. So you have them in a quarter fold there, and then roll them up really tight. And make that roll as tight as you can, and then put it on the ground. Do the same thing you did getting on the ball, lean back onto it, place your hands behind your head, and then looking at the crown molding across the room, we're going to arch back over the roll. Now, if you feel like it's too much, you can unroll it a little bit and make it a little bit smaller. And you can get started on your thoracic mobility, your prevention of your rounded upper back, the dowager's hump, right away using the towel rolls. Then the other optional tool for the lower level classes we usually teach those on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Those are more the beginner to intermediate level classes. The advanced classes are on Tuesday, Thursdays. We sometimes use these magic circles. Certainly an option, not a tool that you need for building your bone strength, but it's just a good one for working the inner thighs, the outer thighs, and some other creative exercises that our teachers like to teach. So again, an optional device that you can get either at Balanced Body, you can get them on Amazon. There's an Amazon Basics version here that's very inexpensive that you can find on Amazon. Okay, so that's all you'll need for the more beginner level classes. I want to show you what you'll need as you progress, or if you're doing the more advanced classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you'll need a backpack, and this backpack is a North Face day pack, and it has padded shoulders. It has a support cushion in the back that gives it sturdiness and cushioning for your back. And then it's very easy to pack up, pretty heavy, and it holds its shape. So I put 2 pillows in here, and then I put some dumbbell plates in there. You don't have to put dumbbell plates. You could put, I'm sorry, these are barbell plates. You could put dumbbells in there or other items that weigh a lot. So you're going to go up to about 40 pounds in your backpack. And then once you get to 40 pounds, it's time to start using a barbell. And it's something that I started during the pandemic, and I really like doing it this way because it's very safe for someone to do on their own at home without a spotter, and then be able to do their resistance training in a safe environment. All right, so backpack. Your next device that's going to be important to consider investing in when you get to the point that you can lift 40 pounds in your box or 40 pounds in your backpack is a barbell. This barbell on top is about 5 feet long. The barbell down here is 6 feet long. This is actually a weighted bar that is 8 pounds, and that is something optional, but not something I'm requiring for you to get. So the 5-foot barbell is really great because it's small enough that you can slide it under a bed and it doesn't stick out. You could also slide it under a sofa. You can easily maneuver it. It doesn't get in the way as much. And it starts out at only 25 pounds. So that's usually doable for most people to transition from lifting 40 pounds in their box to 25-pound barbell. You don't need this rack right away until you're doing the either back squat, where you're doing this, right, where the barbell's on your shoulders, or the overhead press. So if you're not at that point where you're doing the overhead press, bringing it to your chest and up, you won't need the barbell just yet, okay? So make sure it's in the rack. But I can let you know where you can get one of these racks if it's something that you feel like you need. The barbell down below has the clamps and the weights on it. So these clamps are so great because they're so easy to interchange. So this one is called a muscle clamp, and it is super easy to use because you just twist the clamp one way or the other and it tightens it, holds the weights on the barbell. And this brand is expensive. So I found a cheaper brand on Amazon that's called Dark Iron. And right now they're only $11 for 2 clamps. And I think that's a great price because I think these are around $50. And then these are your weight plates. I like rubber coated plates because I have a wooden floor and I don't want to damage my floors. And I remember one time one of the weights slipped off and it fell onto the floor, but it didn't make a mark, thank goodness. But you can get cheaper weights that are not rubber coated, but the sets of rubber coating are available and you can invest in those if you want. So what you'll need is a 2.5-pound weight set of 2. And then you'll need a 5-pound set of 2 plates and a 10-pound set of 2 plates. And then that should suffice for a while until you get stronger. So the good news is when you have to go up on your weights and you need to buy new weights, that's always exciting because that means you're getting stronger. So don't feel like you have to rush to get there. You can start off with 2.5-pound plates, 5-pound plates, or just the bar at first. All right, so you can let me know what you think about that. And let me put this back on and show you how easy it is to clamp those weights back on there and how quickly that happens. Another item that's going to come in very handy with slow progression is a little wrist weight set. So this set is 1 pound each, and this set is 1.5 pounds, and they just Velcro on to the barbell to increase the weight very, very gradually. So I always like to tell people to just go up 1 pound at a time, no more than 1 to 2 pounds at a time. So if you just take the Velcro, put it around the barbell right there in the center, so it doesn't slip off, and you've got a sense that you're aware of it, then you can add in very slowly. So what you would do is you take your barbell, you have your weights on there. So say you're lifting 45 pounds and you're ready to go up to 46 pounds, you go to 46 pounds, and then maybe your next session, a couple days later, you're feeling strong, you want to go up again, you go up another pound, go up to 47 pounds, and then at that point, you're only 3 pounds away from your next weight increment because your 2-pound, 2.5-pound plates equal 5 pounds. So what you would do is take these off and then put on your 2.5-pound plates. And that way that brings you up to 50 pounds, but you take these off, right? And then you keep going up gradually like that. So I think it's wise to have like 1.5 pound set, or at least a 1 pound each wrist weight set that you can start adding weight to your barbell. And maybe you have some of those already laying around and you can do something with them. So makes for a really nice transition. Okay, last little piece that I want to share with you is the step up bench. And this is a really nice step up bench that was very inexpensive. It starts off with about a 4-inch height, and we use it for either stepping exercises to strengthen our quadriceps. We're also using it for impact training so that we're jumping off the step 1 foot at a time or 2 feet at a time. And if you don't feel ready for that, you won't need the step. You can just do the little hops and the little jumping in place until you feel ready to jump off of the 4-inch step. And we take this very slowly. Every time we do the exercise with the jumping, we do 1 foot at a time to warm up, and then we do 2 feet at a time. And then on the next set, I ask you to go up on the height of the step. So if you add another riser, that's going to bring it to 6 inches high. So you just clamp these in right here on each side. And then I've got the other one over there. And then you gradually build up to that 8-inch height. Okay, so again, that's not something you'll need right away, but if you're at the more intermediate to advanced level, you will need that. All right, the last piece that I want to share with you is a piece that is well loved by a lot of our students, the foam roller. It's not going to build bone density, but it sure is helpful for opening up the chest and improving posture. So you basically sit right next to it long ways with your tailbone at the end, lift your hips up, and then you slide your hands apart and plank down onto the roller. And just by lying on it, it helps to open up your chest, allowing your collarbones to drape across, and then reducing the thoracic curve in your back, or that kyphosis curve. And then you can do some snow angels to stretch the chest muscles, help to improve your posture. And then you can also work your abdominal exercises while you're on the roller. And it makes a fun little challenge and also feels good to open up the chest. And this is a 6 by 36 inch roller. I'm going to roll off to the side. And this is what we recommend for most people. If you're a little nervous about it or very sensitive, you can also use a half size, which is a 36 inch long by 6 inch, but cut in half. So it's like somebody just took the roller and cut it in half. And you can use that face down like that, or face up with the flat surface, so it's a little more tolerable on your tender skin back there if you're sensitive in the mid back. Okay, so I can't wait to see you guys in class. I hope that you'll have an easier time gathering up all the props that you'll need. And as always, I'm always available to answer any questions that you have about the props. See you soon.